Hello, I'm William. I'm trying to be a voice actor. I call myself Tome Shredder because I got it found on a Magic the Gathering card. Tome Shredder. I'm reading the Machiavelli, The Prince, and we are on chapter 4. Why the kingdom of Darius, which Alexander seized, did not rebel from his successors after Alexander's death. The difficulties that are involved in holding a state newly acquired having been considered, one might marvel at it how it happened that Alexander the Great became lord of Asia in a few years, and just after he had seized it, died, from which it appeared reasonable that all the state would rebel. Nonetheless, the successors of Alexander maintained it and had no other difficulty in holding it than that which arose amongst themselves out of their own ambition. I reply that principalities of which memory remains have been governed in two diverse modes, either by one prince and all the other servants as ministers help govern the kingdom by his favor and appointment, or by a prince and by the barons who hold that rank not by favor of the Lord but by antiquity of bloodline. Such barons have their own states and subjects who recognize them as lords and hold them in natural affection. States that are governed by one prince and his servants hold their price in greater authority, because in all his province there is no one recognized as superior but himself. And if they obey someone else, they do so as a minister and an official, and they do not bear him any particular love. In our times, the examples of these two diverse kinds of government are the Turk and the King of France. The whole monarchy of the Turk is governed by one lord, and the others are his servants, dividing his kingdom into sanjaks. He sends different administrators to them, and he charges and varies them as he likes. But the King of France is placed in the midst of the ancient multitudes of lords, acknowledged in the state by their subjects and loved by them. They have their privileges, and the king cannot take them away without danger to himself. Thus, whoever considers the one and the other of these states will find difficulty in acquiring the state of the Turk, but it should be conquered, great ease in holding it. So inversely, you will find in some respect more easy in seizing the state of France, but in difficulty in holding it. The causes of the difficulties in being able to seize the kingdom of Turk are that one cannot be called in by the princes in that kingdom. Princes are the one that cannot be called in by the princes in that kingdom, and that one cannot hope to facilitate the enterprise through the rebellion of those around him. This arises from the reasons given above. For all are slaves and bound by obligation, they can be corrupted with much difficulty. And even if they are corrupted, one can hope but for little use from them, as they cannot bring their peoples with them, for the reasons indicated. Hence, whoever attacks the Turk must necessarily assume that he will find him entirely united, and had better put his hope in more of his own forces than in the disorder of others. But once the Turk has been overcome and defeated in the field in such a way that he cannot rally his armies, one has to only to fear the bloodline of the prince. If this is eliminated, there remains no one whom would have to fear, since others do not have credit with the people. And just as the victor could put no hope in them before his victory, so he should not fear them after it. The contrary occurs with kingdoms governed like France, because you can easily enter there, having won over yourself to some baron of the kingdom, or for malcontents, and those who desire to innovate are always to be found. For the reasons given, they can open the way for you into that state and facilitate victory for you. Then your wish to maintain that victory for yourself brings in its wake infinite difficulties, both from those who have helped you and those who have oppressed. Nor is it easy enough for you to eliminate the bloodline of the prince, because lords remain who put themselves at the head of new changes, and since you can neither content them nor eliminate them, you lose that state wherever the opportunity comes. Now, if you consider what is the nature of Darius's government, you will find it similar to the kingdom of the Turk. Therefore, for Alexander, it was necessary for him to make an all-out attack on him and drive him from the field after this victory, With Darius dead, the state remained secure for Alexander for the reasons discussed above. And if his successors had been united, they could have enjoyed it at leisure, nor did any tumults occur in that kingdom besides those they themselves incited. But it is impossible to possess states ordered like France with such quiet. Hence arose the frequent rebellions in Spain, France, and Greece against the Romans because of the numerous principalities that existed in those states. As long as their memory lasted, the Romans were always uncertain of their possession. But when the memory was eliminated with the power and the long duration of the empire, the Romans became secure possessors of them. And the Romans possessed them even though when they latter fought among themselves, each took for himself a part of those provinces in accordance with the authority he had gotten with it. And the provinces became the bloodline of their former lords was eliminated, acknowledged no one but the Romans. Having considered all these things, therefore, no one will marvel at the ease at which Alexander held the state of Asia, and at the difficulties others such as Pyrrhus, and many more like him had in keeping their acquisitions. This has come not from much or little virtue in the victor, but from the disparity in the subject. All right, that was 4 on Machiavelli's The Prince. I'm out.